1 in 4 women experience domestic violence in their lifetime, and 2 out of 3 end up in homicide cases. The statistics can go on, and so many women have sorry tales of their experience of domestic violence, while some others never lived to tell their tales. For Olubusola Olufemi and Kemi Walesin Akonde, they chose not to be part of the statistics, but rather speak and fight against it, having had their fair share. Had reliving their experiences that talked about how and when the abuse started in emotion-laden thoughts and voices. 52-year-old Oluwakemi could not hold back the tears.
Every little thing I say, I was brought down. I was shut down. And gradually, I lost my self-esteem. It was a terrible thing. I remember when he was going to send me out, I just had a surgery. I had a first surgery. I had the second one in 8 weeks. He sent me out 2 weeks later. I had nowhere to go.
I know what I went through. I know my struggle, and my mind was far away from God because I thought, if God loves me, if He's a loving God. I was looking at God through my ex-husband because he's an educated man. He has a PhD. He's a pastor. If he could treat me like this, there was no way I could get closer to God. The more I feel that pain, the further I was getting away from God. So this is not about religion. This is not about, oh, God hates divorce. Yes, and He hates you to be treated the way you've been treated.
Some people may be going through one form of violence or the other, even without really knowing. What are the telltale signs? When should it be enough? Is it okay to opt out?
I was in a marriage for 14 years, and it's nothing that I can wish for my enemy. And I thought, my son, I don't want him to grow up to think it is okay to do what his dad was doing to me, to his wife. And I didn't want my girls to grow up and think it is okay for your husband or your boyfriend to treat you that way. So I stood up for them, I stood up for me, and I had to move on.
A man that is overly jealous is not worth it. A man that monitors everything you do is not worth it. A man that alienates you from others, then you're alone to be abused. A man that slaps you once, don't let it happen the second time.
There seems to be a culture of silence, especially in Africa. The fear of what to do, the fear of being alone, and the fear of what the society and family will think or say.
Unfortunately, some have died. We have to come together as a community, as a church. The government, they must get involved. I was slapped once. He never raised his hands on me again.
There are women that are violent. There are men that are violent. But when the man is violent, because of his macho structure and all that, people tend to say that, oh, you want to kill her. But people look at physical violence. What about abuse, mind abuse? What about when the woman is nagging, is cynical, is abusive, is insultive, and it becomes a psychological trauma for the man to live at home? Domestic violence is perpetrated by any gender, any age.
Domestic violence transcends all colors, races.
There are safe homes, because I would rather call 911 on you and let them pick you out of that house than to get a call that, oh, she died yesterday, or she was shot yesterday, she was maimed yesterday.
Ensure you just don't end up being a number. Get urgent help before domestic violence becomes fatal. Say no to emotional, financial, mental, and domestic abuse. Remember, it's never okay to beat your spouse.